Hello again, and welcome to Langley 98260, 6 Feet Apart. I'm Sue Frause, your host, and during this episode, we're going to chat with Elise Miller of Hedgebrook Writers Retreat, located here on South Whitby. Hedgebrook was founded 32 years ago by Nancy Nordhoff of Langley, and since that time, it has hosted 1,500 writers of novels, poems, plays, screenplays, memoirs, and nonfiction. Elise Miller, who is the Interim Executive Director, has been with Hedgebrook since November of 2019. Her resume is very impressive. She was the Director of the Collaborative on Health and the Environment, focusing on the impact of environmental factors on human health. She founded the National Institute for Children's Environmental Health, which she directed for 10 years, and she has a bachelor's from Dartmouth and a master's from Harvard.
Hello, Sue. I can't tell you how much I appreciate your inviting me to speak about Hedgebrook on WICA's innovative podcast series as we all shelter in place.
Hi, Elise. Really nice to meet you, if only virtually. So first of all, how long have you been on Whidbey Island, and when did you start at Hedgebrook?
So my husband and I moved to Whidbey about 22 years ago, and prior to coming on staff at Hedgebrook last November, I spent about 25 years directing 3 different national and international nonprofits focused on environmental health concerns, primarily translating the emerging science on pollution into public health policy. And then about 2 years ago, I felt like I was kind of complete with that work, and I wanted to weave back in other parts of my life that have been pretty dormant for the preceding couple decades. And I was particularly interested in reigniting my passion for working with girls and women, amplifying their voices, and particularly those who are marginalized and disenfranchised. In fact, that was the focus of my graduate work in India when I spent time with teenage girls trying to understand their experience of self and choice living on the borderline of cultures. So this is a very long way of saying that while I was job hunting, the opportunity to become the Interim Executive Director of Hedgebrook came up, and last November in 2019, I said yes.
Now, for those who may not know about Hedgebrook, tell us more about the organization, why it exists, and how did it all start?
So Hedgebrook is a global community of visionary women writers whose stories and ideas shape our culture now and for generations to come. Hence our tagline, Women Authoring Change. It started about 32 years ago as a brainchild of Nancy Nordhoff, our beloved founder and longtime philanthropist, who's also spent much of her life encouraging and supporting women in claiming their voices and their inner power. And over the decades, Hedgebrook has grown significantly and now hosts 23 different programs a year here on Whidbey and some abroad. And authors of all genres and poets and playwrights and songwriters and filmmakers, as well as young aspiring writers, have all spent time at Hedgebrook and honed their storytelling. And so the core program is called Writers in Residence. The applicants go through an intense adjudication process, and those selected get to spend several weeks in their own cottage to focus on their art and craft while being provided with meals and taken care of as part of Hedgebrook's radical hospitality. And on average, 75% of the writers in this program are women of color, many coming from around the world. And also quite a number of prize-winning authors have come through here, like Gloria Steinem, Bernadine Evaristo, Ruth Ozeki, and many others you would likely know or have heard of. And other programs Hedgebrook hosts are masterclasses, convenings, and annual events like Vortex and the Women's Playwrights Festival. And we also offer online classes taught by some of our really accomplished teachers, and now some webinars as well. In fact, as you've been sheltering in place, you may have turn to some of our alumnae for comfort or entertainment, and including people like Alexa Jung, who's a writer on television shows like Friends, Sex and the City, Grace and Frankie, and NPR's This American Life. And Brandi Carlile, a Grammy-winning singer-songwriter who just had a song featured in the Disney Pixar film Onward, and so many others.
Of course, we're all concerned about COVID-19 and wondering how the shutdown has affected Hedgebrook and what will it look like moving forward.
Well, first, Sue, I have to say Hedgebrook isn't going anywhere. This pandemic, women have been disproportionately impacted, and particularly women of color. And this means that our mission is as critical as ever, not only for our collective well-being, but we believe ultimately for our future. We have a unique opportunity now to adapt and create and deliver new programming to a wide audience that addresses the specific needs and challenges of this unprecedented time. And we're working, in fact, harder than ever to reinvent our programs and grow healthy new branches of our work, bring forth what has been working and let go of systems that no longer serve us. So please check out our new innovative COVID-19 online programming, which is mostly pay what you want and open to absolutely everyone. If you want to see more women have the opportunity to author change around the globe, please, I invite you to consider making a donation to Hedgebrook at hedgebrook.org/donate. And your support literally makes a world of difference. Thank you so much, Sue, for having me.
So that's a wrap. Tune in next time for another episode of Langley 98260. And in the meantime, as always, wash your hands, wear your mask, and please stay 6 feet apart.